Chapter 5. Olive. Monday, May 8th. Lost. Half an hour's sleep. Concentration. Delicate. Gold bracelet with tiny charms. Rose sneaked into my bedroom on Monday morning somewhere close to 2 a.m. My mom must have left the back door unlocked. Rose clambered over me and nestled down between me and the wall, all elbows and knees and hair snaking across my face. I grunted and shoved her hard, my own elbow sinking into her side. She smelled like she hadn't been home since the party. Waking slowly, I rolled over onto my back and stared at the ceiling. Rose continued to make herself comfortable like a dog in a new blanket, shifting, sighing, tugging the covers. I wanted to ask her where she'd been, but sleep was like a spell pulling me back under. "I'm sorry," she whispered. Or maybe that's what she whispered. My hearing aid was sitting useless on the bedside table, and she was facing my deaf ear. "Whatever," I said, not unkindly. "It's not like I thought I'd lost you for good." Rose made a sound that I thought might have been a smile or a sigh. By the time my doors burst open to the sound of Dad reciting Thomas More, Rose is gone. She's left a flower, her namesake, on the pillow beside me. Thoughtfully, she's had the foresight to remove the thorns. Downstairs, the others are up already. Emily is glued to her phone, as always, and my mom is making a mashed banana clown face for Mac's breakfast. So soon may I follow when friendships decay, and from love's shining circle the gems drop away. Dad quotes his way through the poem, following me into the kitchen. "Want some?" Max asks as Mom pops a raspberry in the middle of the foul-looking mush of a nose. The raisin mouth grins ominously. "No, thanks." I make a face and opt for toast and the coffee that's been brewing since Mom got up. It's dark as night and smells like sharp flap. When hearts lie withered and fond ones are flown, Dad insists on finishing the poem, even though we're all awake and dabbed. He amps for his performance for the last few lines, doing a mock swoon to the words, "Oh, who would inhabit this bleak world alone?" "Nice," I mutter. "Can I go to Cleo's later?" Emily asks, ignoring our dad's antics as usual. Cleo is her best friend, but can be her identical twin. They buy the same pastel skinny jeans, the top shop crop tops that Dad is definitely and dutifully scandalized over, and one is not usually found without the other. Rose and I share jewelry and spend all of our time together too, but I have a hard time being a carbon copy of Rose. Also, her clothes would never fit me, seeing as how she's 8 inches taller and 3 dress sizes smaller than I am. Mom tells Emily she can go to Cleo's after school, and I try my luck by asking offhand, "Can I go to Rose's too?" But she sees right through me. "You're grounded, and I'm sure you'll remember." "You can come straight home," she tells me, and as much as I enjoy Rose's company, she'd do well to go straight home too. I put Rose's rose up on the bookshelf above my bed before I leave and wonder again where she went yesterday after the party. Emily and I ride to school, single file, on the twisty road, our uniform sweaters around our waists and the backs flapping like big blue swan wings behind us. My shirt sleeves are pushed as far up my arms as I can get them. All that is left of the words written there is "You'll never be found." The word "never" fading gray in the croak of my elbow. "Be found" bleeding black into my wrist. I only realize my bracelet is gone when the school bell rings, and I'm hurrying down the corridor to my first lesson. It must have slipped from my wrist as I rode to school. I've been wearing its absence on my arm since I lost it. A ghost bracelet singing with invisible charms. While all the other girls have had their Pandoras heavy with round silver beads shaped like birthday cakes and teacups, I have a tiny linked gold chain from which tinkle miniature stars and cats and mountains. And my favorite, a delicate little olive tree, light as air, and sounding like musical notes when they twinkle together and tinkle together. It was my mom's when she was a girl. She gave it to me for my 16th birthday, and I haven't taken it off since. I slide into my seat and drag my school bag onto my lap. I take out my school books and a pencil case, my dad's copy of the collected poems of Sylvia Plath, and the loose pens, the packet of tissue, and the used hearing aid batteries and hairpins, and crumpled up pieces of paper at the bottom of the bag. I open every pocket. I turn out the linings. The class fills up in debris and dribs and drabs, the bell long since rung. My searching becomes more frantic. I roll up the sleeves of my sweater. I roll down my socks. I check through each pleat of my skirt until Catherine Murdoch turns around and asks loudly, "How much for striptease, hot stuff?" He waggles his tongue suggestively. Fortunately, Mrs. Walsh, who has heard Catherine's delightful question, intervenes before I can dump the jumbled contents in my school bag over his head. "Mr. Murdoch, please take a seat at the front of the class." I will not tolerate sexual harassment in my classroom. Muttering darkly, Cathal takes his seat right in front of the teacher to applause from most of my female classmates. I take advantage of the distraction to continue my search. Rose slouches late into class and sits down beside me. What's wrong with you? She asks. Does Weeviltex have fleas again? I shoot her an evil look and check under my desk to see if I've dropped the bracelet and all the searching. I've lost my bracelet. Your mom's one? Yeah. Shit. Yeah. I start to scoop the ditches back into my school bag. Amid the mess, I manage to find my global-shaped pencil sharpener, a wrinkled fiber, and a silver star-shaped hair clip from the same set as the one I was wearing, and then lost at the party. I'm glad I still have at least one of them, at least. Rose is immaculately made up as always, her black hair gleaming and a uniform skirt stapled 3 inches above the required hemline. She's the photo negative of last night's mess. Oh, cute! Rose seizes her hair clip and uses it to pin back her waterfall of hair. It works about as well as trying to hold back an actual waterfall. Mrs. Walsh has started the class, but I lean toward Rose and quietly say, Are you going to tell me where you went after the party? Her gaze goes blank for a second. She asks, Are you? Am I what? Going to tell me where you went? Home, I tell her. At like 6 a.m. Without you. I went home, she says. At like 6 a.m. Without you. I scrunch my mouth up with suspicion. It's possible, I suppose, that we missed each other. That she woke up minutes before me and went to pee behind the trees, and I was up searching for her when she come back to get me. It didn't look like you'd been home when you came to mine last night, I say. Where were you, really? Did you go somewhere with a guy? I say guy because it's unlikely she found a girl to go somewhere with. We live in Baldwin County, Mayo, population 2,400. There's only one secondary school, and if there were any eligible girls around, we'd know it. Last year, Rose and I drunkenly decided that, as the only 2 openly bisexual girls our age in town, we should probably give it a go. Turns out some people really are just meant to be friends. I don't know what you're talking about, says Rose. You must still have been seriously wasted, I observe. Rose laughs. I wasn't the only one. Can I have another kiss before you go? You're not wrong, I conceded. After English, Rose and I retraced my steps through the school and out across the yard to the bike rack. But my bracelet isn't there. I hope it's at home and not lying in a ditch somewhere. All day I keep catching myself rubbing the words on my skin, the ball on my right thumb bumping over on the tiny bones of my wrist, the blue and purple veins, and the never be found, like the blood on Lady Macbeth, who doesn't want to come off. Olive, Mr. O'Neill says sharply for the second time in the first 10 minutes of geography class. Sorry, sir. I grab my pen, although I have no idea what I'm supposed to be writing. Rose shrugs beside me. Mr. O'Neill is an uncanny fit for telepathy. You're supposed to be writing about the 3 F's of the primary economic activities in the specific trivial region. I stare at him blankly. Anyone? The 3 F's. Mr. O'Neill opens the question up for the rest of the class. Rose scribbles 3 words on the textbook behind us. Frolicking, flying, and fucking. I cover the paper quickly with my hand before he can see. I lean over and whisper, I don't want to think about Mr. O'Neill doing any of those things. Rose's ensuing ha is so loud that it gets both of us kicked out of geography. We decided to take this as a sign from the universe that we're not meant to be in a hot, airless school building on a beautiful, warm day, and that instead we should spend the rest of our morning beside the lake. We have 2 free classes before lunch, and neither our teachers nor my parents will ever know I've defied their grounding if I'm back in school by math time. We unchain our bikes in the silence of the schoolyard and set off to the edge of town. There isn't much to Balmaglin, and there isn't much to the edge of it either. We ride past the supermarket and the industrial park, and we take a sharp right just after the main road. I glance back behind us for a glimpse of the field where the bonfire party was held. I don't know what I'm looking for. Maybe the boy with the glasses and the dark curly hair, who I haven't been able to stop thinking about. Rose rides straight ahead, leading us right down to the forest by the lake, and the abandoned development that sits there like a ghost town, Oak Road. It was built in the boom years, a nice modern development, all mod cons, identical houses with identical gardens and a neat little semicircle of misguided economic optimism. But then the recession hit and the economy crashed, and for the last few years, all these perfect little patches of suburbia had been left sitting empty. The rooms never furnished, the grass never cut. The city council boarded up the windows, put up signs with half-hearted warnings like trespassers would be prosecuted, but we trespassed all the time and no one has yet to come to prosecute us. We can't actually get into the houses. We're not about to break down the boarded-up doors just for kicks. But on weeknights, we drink in the storm drain tunnel, and on the weekends, when our classes are boring and stressful, we like to hang out on the overgrown lawn, smoking and reading magazines, listening to music on our phones or tiny speakers, painting our nails. Nobody ever comes looking for us. We haven't been here for a few months, and already the weeds killed by the frost over winter have grown up past our knees. This is kind of like Neverland, I say. So what does that make us, the Lost Boys? Rose asked. Is there anybody in the world who looks lost? At least like a lost boy is Rose. Chewing gum aggressively, the only way Rose knows how to do anything apart from dramatically. She's been pulling off the knee socks and bailing them up in the long grass beside her, hitching up her skirt and unbuttoning her top 3 shirt buttons. My best friend is the daughter of a stout, ruddy man from Cork, whose accent I can never decipher, and a beautiful willowy half-Indian Dubliner. She is her mother from the tips of her painted toenails to the ends of her long black hair. From her father she only inherited her impressive vocabulary of curses. Her eyes are always smoky, her eyebrows perfectly arched, and her nails painted. Rose was made for fashion magazines, not children's books. I get what you mean, though, she says. No teachers or parents to tell us not to smoke. I've never smoked, I reminded her. And you don't anymore either, remember? Or drink, or keep the music down. Second star to the right, I say, with relish, opening a bag of chips. And straight on to morning. Looks wise. Old Oak Road is far from an enchanted island as you can get. The houses are an ugly, faded mustard like the wall surrounding them, and the grass is dotted with daisies and dandelions. The road through the developments is unfinished, ending in a heap of rubble on one side and an exposed storm drain tunnel on the other. It's completely incognito in the forest behind it, the lake shining blue just beyond. Who'd even ever live here? Rose asked the first time we came, watching with a sort of rapid horror as 2 rats fought in the rubble at the back of the development. Lots of people, I told her. I mean, apart from the paint job, they'd have been nice houses. Big, modern, in my own house.